The place where the forest stops returning people. No one could explain exactly where the forest began. On maps, it was marked as an ordinary stretch of land, trees, hills, a narrow river cutting through. But everyone who lived nearby avoided it instinctively. Not because of stories, not because of legends, but because something inside them tightened when they got too close, as if their bodies remembered something their minds had forgotten. Ethan entered the forest at dawn. He was documenting abandoned natural zones, places where human presence had quietly vanished. Forests that reclaimed villages, paths, names. This one had no official record of disappearance, which made it perfect. Silence like this rarely remained unclaimed. The first thing he noticed was the absence of decay. Leaves lay on the ground, but they did not rot. Fallen branches did not mold. Dead things did not smell dead. It was as if time moved forward but refused to finish its work. Birdsong stopped after the first kilometer, not gradually, abruptly. One step, sound. The next, nothing. Ethan checked his recorder. It was working. The silence wasn't empty. It was dense, pressing against his ears until he could hear his own blood moving. Deeper in, he found a clearing. At its center stood a tree unlike the others. Taller, thicker. Its bark was smooth, pale, almost flesh-like. No branches grew from its lower half, as if something had removed them carefully. Around it lay objects. A boot, a backpack strap, a watch still ticking, not scattered, placed. Ethan didn't touch anything, he only photographed them. Still, the moment he stepped back, he felt it. A subtle shift, like the forest had leaned closer. That night, he dreamed standing in the clearing, but he was not alone. Shapes stood between the trees, human outlines, wrong in detail, too still, too symmetrical. They did not approach. They did not breathe.
They simply waited, as if observing how long it would take him to realize something important.
He woke with blood on his hands, not fresh, dried. He checked himself frantically. No wounds, no cuts, but the smell lingered, metallic, warm, real. The path he had used the day before was gone. Trees stood where it should have been, grown too evenly, too deliberately. His GPS spun uselessly, pointing nowhere, recalculating again and again like a broken thought. Ethan walked for hours. The forest began repeating itself. The same rock, the same fallen trunk, the same crooked tree with a split down its center. Every time he passed them, something changed, slightly. The rock closer, the trunk less broken, the tree smoother, younger, as if the forest was rewinding itself, but not perfectly. Then he heard footsteps, not behind him, inside his pace, perfectly synchronized. When he stopped, they stopped. When he breathed, they breathed. But when he turned around, there was nothing. By the second night, the forest started returning sounds. His voice. He whispered his own name once, testing the silence. Ethan. It came back from multiple directions, softer, calmer, stripped of urgency. Versions of his voice that sounded like they had already accepted something he had not. He found another clearing. This one held bodies, standing, dozens of them. People frozen mid-motion, reaching, turning, stepping forward. Their skin had taken on the texture of bark, fingers fused together like roots, eyes open but empty, reflecting only trees. At the center stood the same pale tree, but larger. Its surface pulsed slowly, rhythmically, like something breathing beneath skin. Ethan understood then. The forest did not kill. It absorbed patterns, movement, fear, thought, identity. People didn't disappear, they were distributed, used to stabilize something ancient and unfinished. The forest needed witnesses, anchors, forms that remembered being human long enough to hold shape. When Ethan tried to run, the ground softened. Not mud, not soil. Something closer to muscle. His legs sank with every step, the earth gripping him gently but firmly, correcting his direction, guiding him back. The tree opened, not splitting, unfolding. Inside were faces, not screaming, not pleading. Calm, relieved. He felt the pull not on his body, but on his certainty. His memories blurred at the edges. His name began to feel unnecessary. The forest leaned in, and Ethan finally understood the second meaning. The forest does not grow outward, it grows inward. Every human who enters becomes a layer, a thought, a silence that knows how to stand. Somewhere far away, a map remains unchanged, and people still wonder why this forest feels heavier than it should.